Good day, my name is Nicola Gardere, and I was healed from type 2 diabetes. I was diagnosed in 2016, and during that time it has been medication, doctor's visits, lots of blood work, and just ongoing visits back and forth to the doctors. The highest level I was at was in 2023. I went to my A1C reading was at a level 8. And it was at that point where I refused to accept that reading. And I decided I was going to start praying more. I was going to start monitoring my diet, and I was going to start exercising more. And so at that point, my parents thought I was crazy, because who stops taking their medication at a level 8? Trying to go under 5, stopping your medication based on my doctor's reasoning was not the way to go. But I decided to step out in faith. Pastor started preaching on healing, and I decided that I am going to receive mine at some point in this church. Watching the videos every Sunday and listening to different people telling their stories and telling their testimony, I knew at that point I was going to receive my healing in this church right now. And I start believing every Sunday for it. I start expecting it every Sunday. And Pastor would be up there preaching and calling out all these different diagnoses. And every time I heard the diagnosis of diabetes being healed in this church, at that point, I wasn't running to the altar every Sunday, but by golly, I was holding on to my pastor's shirt every single Sunday when he started talking about healing and diabetes. I often see myself as the woman with the issue of blood. And I remember one Sunday, Pastor actually made reference to the woman with the issue of blood. And I chuckled in my seat. And I said, he has no clue I'm pulling on his jacket right now to receive my healing. And I just kept believing and believing and believing. No medication for a year when I was at my highest. And I went back for my blood work in December. And it was at that point where my doctor sent me an email or message in Messenger and said, hey, I need to see you. You need to come in. I cannot believe this. And looking at my own chart at Scott and White and seeing going from a level 8 all the way down under the normal level of a 5, it just blew my mind. But I knew at that point that I did receive my healing and that God is real, and healing is a real thing here at Open Fire. This is what I would like to encourage everyone. If you're out there battling with any type of diagnosis, for me it was diabetes, and I stepped out in faith, watching my grandpa lose his eyesight after battling diabetes and several other conditions. My family thought I was really crazy, stepping out and not taking any medication. But I encourage you to hold on to the word. I encourage you to seek your healing. Stay prayed up. Ask God for guidance. Ask God for deliverance. And show up at Open Fire, because healing is taking place in this house. I am a living testimony of that healing that I received.